Where are you from?
I grew up in Brockton, Mass.
What was your first break?
My first break? I think probably I would have to say my first break was probably winning the Golden Gloves, because it was almost like the first intro into notoriety and being recognized. Probably winning the Southern New England Golden Gloves, because the news interviewed me when I won. So.
What have you been in?
Oh God, a lot. I used to be on a TV show called The Game. I was on Pepper Dennis, Accidentally on Purpose. One of my first movie roles was with Kerry Washington in a film called Lift. Right now, I'm on Showtime's Ray Donovan, and tons of commercials. Like, they're like, "Aren't you the 7-Eleven guy? Aren't you the Mountain Dew kid?" Wow, it's probably too many to name. Shoot. Oh, Jump in the Broom with Angela Bassett and Loretta Devine and Paula Patton, Megan Good. Yeah, that was fun.
How do you feel about this career?
I feel good. I'm just beginning, and I think there's nothing I can't do. Ready for whatever challenges. And but right now, being that I don't have any relatives or no one I'm related to in the industry, I did everything straight from the muscle. So, I'm cool and excited where my career's at right now.
How did you decide to become an actor?
Man, I was acting since I was born, man. It was like growing up in Massachusetts. It's one of these things to where acting wasn't a realistic goal, but when I played football and I boxed, some cats. I'm sorry. We're out here in the wilderness. I was always acting. I'd be on the bus rapping, in the locker room, making everyone laugh. And even when my boxing style was similar to Ali's and Roy Jones at the time, and people just were like, you have charisma and like you should go be in movies and stuff. I just never knew how to go about it growing up in Massachusetts, So I think athletics was going to be my way out per se. But everyone used to tell me, and finally I met this model kid who came into our work study at school, and he had a model portfolio book. And at the time was when boy bands were really like popular, and you're not supposed to like boy bands if you're a guy. Like, oh, you like boy band, or if you like models, you're gay. And I'm like, well, I wanted to see his book, so he showed me his book, and I was like, there's nothing gay about these pictures. These pictures are dope. So I was just like, do you do like magazines and going for commercials and stuff? He's just like, yeah. So he's like, yo, here's my agent's card at the time, and he said, give her a call. But he said, you know what? He's like, no, don't call her. Go down here, let her meet you. You're awesome. I was like, all right, cool. And I got hooked up with this little small agency in Boston called Dynasty, and it was like it was just instantaneously. Like, as soon as they sent me out, I booked this Wella hair product fashion show where they dyed my hair orange and like dreaded my hair because I had like a little afro, and then immediately after that I booked a CVS commercial, which then I did the commercial, and then I did the photo shoot. Now you talking about a kid who grew up in Brockton. I ain't really come from much, We didn't really have all that much money, but the money they paid me, I was like, I'm not leaving. This is not career. I was like, I'm not doing nothing else. So, and then, you know, I joined SAG I had to join SAG within, I think, like a month. So, you know.
How would you describe your specialty or type?
Say again?
How would you describe your specialty or type?
My specialty? Or type? You mean like if I feel I'm a leading man or something? Leading man. But I feel I can do it all. Like, I've done comedy, and right now being on Ray Donovan, it's very heavy drama. It's really dark. And then, you know, I just recently did 2 films. I did The Bleeder, where I played Muhammed Ali, where I became him. And then I did a film called A Dog's Purpose, where it's kind of like a comedy, period piece. So, I mean, I feel I can do it all.
Who's your favorite actor who you look up to?
Oh, wow. I would have to say my favorite actor. Oh, God. Man. I would have to say Denzel. But it's like a combination. It's like Denzel, Robert Downey Jr., Liev Schreiber, Jeremy Renner, Don Cheadle. But I would have to say, if I'm going to look up to someone who showed me a lot, I would have to say John Voight. He's my dad, away from my dad, and working with him and us spending time together, you see why he's great and why he's won Oscar, and, you know, he's got a beautiful family that are all talented, and he's done it. He's like, now it's time to have fun. Not that I wasn't having fun before, because I'm having fun. And I look up to him, and I see his technique, his method, and his he's selfless, you know. And one thing that I love about him and Liev is that they're giving actors. They want to make you better. And I think that's the competitiveness that we have within this industry, is that if the 4 of us here are in a scene, we all have to challenge each other to make the scene as great as it has to be. So if we're not competitive with ourselves to push each other, then the scene's going to fall flat. And, you know, John and Liev are like that, but I look up to both of them. Yeah, John's special to me.
What would your ideal job be?
My ideal job would to be, man, maybe some secret agent 007. Like, I know they were trying to get the new 007. I'm not British, but I could be a secret agent, be the black secret agent, you know. As long as they don't hire Cuba, okay? Give me a shot, okay? You know. Yeah, I'd like to be like a secret agent or some badass. 3-picture deal.
Do you consider yourself to be lucky?
I think I consider I'm special. I always felt that way. My dad and my mom always told me that, and I got a little bit of luck thrown in there based off of what's happened to me, because now, you know, whoever sees this piece, or the people who read about us being in this industry, there's so many people who want in, and there are people who go to Juilliard or, you know, NYU and USC and don't ever get shots. And, you know, it's timing, that luck, you know, mixed in there. But I think it's also falls on the individual as far as, like, you know, you being talented and aware and just a good listener, you know. And sometimes, you know, those people who possess those things don't get that shot, but that doesn't mean you don't keep working, you know what I mean? Because it is tough, I mean, you guys heard stories. You guys know it's a tough business to be in. So that's why I really consider myself special, being that I hadn't come from much, you know. Parents lived paycheck to paycheck. When we went on a vacation, we drove to Florida. You know what I mean? I never seen the stuff that I see now. You know what I mean? And it's like on someone else's dime. You know what I mean? And you know, and I think that's a beautiful thing. That's why I don't take it for granted. And as an actor and as a public figure, I always want to make sure I respect this business. I love this business to where I don't want to, you know, shame it, you know, even though there are some horror stories in Hollywood, what have you. But as far as I'm concerned, it's helped me provide for my family and to do what I love. And that's one thing my dad said. He said, boy, he said, when you find a job that you love, you'll never work another day in your life. So it's like, you know, going to the playground, you know what I mean? So I challenge myself with the roles to make sure that I give the audience and the fans who support me, like, damn, yo, Pooch put it down. Or like, yo, he really did a great job. Like, that makes me feel good, you know?
Would you rather have a car or a diploma?
Okay, well, seeing that I'm in the industry and I didn't graduate from college, I went 3 years. And I drove to California. So I think the car is doing me right. I could right justice right now. It's like I couldn't, like, you know, even if I wanted to take the diploma and, like, you know, in some weird imagination, like fold it up like a paper airplane and like fly it like some Tom and Jerry cartoon, it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? So I can get the car, drive to California. This is what I was thinking for. Become a famous actor, and then eventually just go get my. I'm sure all those credits will transfer. It's all good, you know. Probably have to make up a few more classes, but yeah, car.
What do you think about the need for instant gratification?
I think the need for instant gratification, in my opinion, is it depends on the individual. I think as actors, a lot of us have insecurities about something. Because there's no one perfect person, let alone a perfect actor, that some people need that instant gratification. I've always been secure in my self that if I know eventually I'd get it because I'm too good not to. That's just keeping it real. But sometimes, like when you're acting or when someone does something, it's like, you know, I think the only instant gratification that you should do is give it to children immediately. Whether it's like, hey, mom, I drew this, or check this out, dad, you know, it's awesome. You know what I mean? And really give them that time, because it helps in their development. Because then eventually, as you get older, you didn't get it as a kid, in my opinion, you're always seeking it. And I think that with the instant gratification, it's good, but I think it's more about you knowing who you are, to know that even if they don't say good job or whatever, you know that it's a great job, and you keep going. Like I tend to compare myself to Michael Jordan, and I say that those are huge shoes to fill, but he never needed to be motivated. He was self-motivated, and I've always been self-motivated. I didn't need a reason. I just put my mind to it and make it happen. And the instant gratification just kind of comes naturally, based off of, you know, you doing your thing. But it does feel good. It does feel good. But I think it starts when you're a kid. You gotta make sure you give the kids that attention.
How do you feel about how interconnected the world is becoming?
It has its goods and its bads. I mean, between like social media and it's good because it becomes like one giant community room in a sense. But then also there's I think we lose a lot of private moments, like how you're probably too young, but there's a lot of private moments where we would see something and maybe you would take a picture of it on a Kodak disposable or something, and you have it in your photo album. Now it's a lot of moments that are either shared with the world or it's no longer yours. So it's cool that the world is like becoming connected in a sense, especially if there's situations where we have to help people or it's like you want to get involved. But then there's times where it's just kind of like I just want to just be with my family or my loved ones and so forth. But it has its goods and its bads.
What does the future look like to you?
Me, George Jetson. I'm sorry. Sorry. I think the future. Bright. The future looks bright. I don't know. It's just let's just keep having fun, man. I could care less about some flying cars and or lightsabers and stuff. Like as long as we're supporting each other, all sizes, colors, and shapes. And I say that, and I'm not. It's not bullshit with me. It's real because I was born with a handicapped daughter, and it opened my eyes to, she made me better, and it allows you to kind of like, all right, what am I complaining about? Let me relax. Let me just always kind of be in good spirits to share that, because somebody might not be having a good day. And I think that if we were more like that, I know it sounds almost like a cliche, but if we were more like that, then there's possibilities that we wouldn't have as much bullshit going on in the world and just people judging or hating or it's craziness, you know what I mean? But I just think that our futures can be bright if we did become a community to where we really wanted to support and help each other. And when I say that, it doesn't necessarily mean like I gotta go cut this person a check, or I gotta go help this person move furniture around, or I gotta go to their nonprofit. It's just as simple as saying, have a good day. You good? That's support, man.
How do you feel about having children?
Oh, I love it. It's work. It's it's work. But like I said, my children make me better, and you realize how tough your parents had it, and you were small, and you start to sound like your parents. But they're wonderful. They are so just innocent and precious, and it's a challenge for me as a father to make sure that I give them the best life that I can. So.
What challenges do you feel the world is facing today?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, we have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of delusional people who want to hurt people because of their whatever beliefs. Financially, everyone can always use a little something. Homelessness, poverty. I mean, living out here in California, you see it a lot. Yeah, that's a hard question,
What is your favorite way to communicate?
Just talking. just being me. And you probably can feel the same energy as I'm talking to you if I text it to you. Same thing. Yeah, I think it's just us just communicating. Like laugh. I love laughing. It's some of the best medicine. So I can communicate just by laughing. I can have a whole conversation by going ha 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 ha. I just said, I hope you have a great day later. Maybe we can do lunch, the four of us. You know what I mean? Thank you for inviting me here in the woods. Just kidding. Go.
What do you think of the creative scene in Los Angeles?
It's the entertainment mecca. I mean, I grew up in Massachusetts. I spent a lot of time in New York. New York's my favorite city. And each city, and I've been to a lot, they have their own story. And it's, they're all unique. You know what I mean? But I just think here, it's just like, I love LA. And I'm amazed every day because I'll probably find something new every day. And but as much as we may complain about the traffic, we still stay here and we love it. People are having snowstorms and all types of crap going on. We're out here having lunch in the back patio. It's 70 degrees.
What is your favorite book, film, and music right now?
Well, my favorite book. Comic books count? Right now I'm reading Frank Miller's graphic novel, Batman, based off, Batman and Superman just came out, so I'm reading that, which is pretty gnarly. Music, Jay-Z, all day, every day. And what was the third one?
Film.
Probably Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I got a poster in my house. Framed.